know I'm finding it hard to breathe, and I've been drowning in my old sleep. I feel the hate crashing over me. You do it.
So rescue me.
Oh, 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 rescue me.
Woo!
Hi guys, and welcome to the Cutting Room Floor podcast. I'm Laura, and I like all things Marvel, murder, and marine. And joining me each week will be my co-host Brian, and co-creator of this podcast. He is awesome, and what he doesn't know isn't really worth knowing. So let's get on with the episode.
Hey guys, welcome back to TCRF, which I say literally the same way every single week. So
We love it.
yeah, you better do. How's it going?
All right. How's it going for you?
Yeah, pretty good. It's pretty warm.
Oh, I like it.
I'm too warm. Can't deal with it.
Nah. Man up.
Right. Well, anyway, how's it going?
We've done that bit.
I was trying to trick you, see if you were paying attention.
Yeah, always.
Yeah. We are this week. We're going to be talking about Kingsman The Golden Circle.
Yay!
Yay! Yes, indeedy. This is the second installment into the Kingsman franchise, and
Based on a comic book.
it's not bad. I wasn't going to go into that much detail, but it's based on the Secret Service comic book by Mark Millar, drawn by Dave Gibbons. Doesn't really matter. Dave Gibbons also drew Watchmen.
Oh,
So,
cool.
there you go. There's a fun fact that nobody cared about.
Everybody did.
So what do you think of it?
I liked it. It was silly.
Yeah. What do you think of it compared to the first one?
I don't think it was as good. Well, no. I think it was as good as the first one, but they used a lot of like tropes and jokes from the first one.
Yeah. No, they did.
That was like not as and so like it didn't have as much impact
Second time round.
Sure.
Yeah, that's fair.
Thing that I'm thinking of is that they like showed the balloons, the like coloured going off instead of blood.
Oh, yeah.
And like they had all the like robotic body parts and stuff, which are kind of already done.
Yeah. Well,
in the first one.
It's definitely like a heightened reality kind of universe. The whole thing is very colourful and people get hit by things that ordinarily would kill someone, and
they're fine
regularly. Yeah, that kind of thing. Yeah. No.
But it was good.
Yeah.
Like it was fun. I enjoyed it. It was a fun ride.
Well, I mean, this film it introduces the Statesman, which is basically the American Kingsman. What do you think of that? Those guys?
I like Channing Tatum. He's
well,
nice.
We didn't get that much of him.
There wasn't
actually,
enough
to be
of
fair.
him, no. But his dancing was good. I enjoyed that.
It was pretty good.
And, him being on ice was nice to see.
What do you mean?
Or just him lying there looking pretty.
You just Just like looking at him while he's lying down.
Oh yeah.
With his eyes closed.
With his eyes closed.
That's
like he's sleeping.
That's not creepy at all.
No. Whiskey.
Yeah.
Played by Oberon Martell.
Yeah.
What's his real name?
The Viper from Game of Thrones. Yeah.
What's his actual name?
Pedro Pascal.
He was good, except spoiler alert, he was a baddie. Until the point that he was a baddie, I really liked him.
Yeah.
With his lasso.
Yeah, he was very, very
That
fancy.
was really cool. I liked how they used the lasso in the fight scenes. Like that fight scene where they're in the...
in the bar?
In the saloon.
Oh, yeah.
Which, again, was just playing off of the trope from the first one.
Yeah, it's basically it was the manners maketh man scene.
Yeah.
With a twist.
But that was good.
Yeah, Mr. Pascal was basically. I feel like they got him in and were just like dressed him as Burt Reynolds and were just like just do a Burt Reynolds impression.
Yeah.
But it was great. No, it was.
Was Burt Reynolds the main man, like the leader?
No, that was Jeff Bridges, Legal of the Statesman. Yeah, who's another famous older actor. Yeah. No,
confused.
it would be weird if they wanted a young Burt Reynolds character and also him. I feel.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, no. Yeah, I thought he was great. Good fun.
I liked Eggsy. He was even more rude than he was in the last one.
Yeah.
Doing all his effing and jeffing.
It was really good. Yeah, no. What about Halle Berry's character? What about Ginger Ale?
She was a bit meh.
You're not really a fan?
I didn't dig her.
No?
No, she was too like kind of submissive and subdued. Like
she wasn't
I think she needed a bit more spunk.
But saying that, like she was basically the Merlin character. Like they were basically the same character.
You said to us yesterday when we came out of the cinema, you were like, oh, they've like solved the chauvinistic.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean,
so
we can talk about that now. Or
and it's just because I want to just say because we're talking about. So you were like, oh, I think they've solved the chauvinist tropes, like from the end of the first film by getting him to marry the girl.
Tilda. Princess Tilda of Sweden.
Then I think they were upping the chauvinism by the only like female character,
female agent, yeah,
in that is this like submissive, like quiet,
kind of boring
character. Doesn't rock the boat, and they killed off the only girl that had
from
a bit
Kingsman
of balls
team. That's true.
From
she was
the Kingsman,
great.
They killed her off. So I was like, I only thought about this earlier today when I was like thinking about it more, but I don't think they did the being less chauvinist very well.
No, I think that's fair. In fairness, they were like, oh, how do we stop the criticisms from the James Bond-esque like chauvinistic sex scene weird thing at the end of the last one where she's all like, oh, let's do sex, and yeah, they solved it by not really by like, oh, they're married now, it's fine, they're together forever, it's a non-issue, and like she wasn't a bad character in fairness,
like she was fun,
but yeah, I mean. They could have just had a female agent. Could have had a female whiskey.
Yeah.
Yeah. We should specify.
Made ginger ale more like
an actual agent rather than the spot.
No, or even just make her have a bit of, balls.
Sure.
For not being chauvinist, but
some of it, I feel like. I mean, okay. Although admittedly, at the end of the film, she asks.
Yeah.
She asked to be an agent. Like if she showed more like competent and also like was more confident before, she probably would have.
Well, she did say come across a bit better. That Whiskey kept like poo-pooing it.
Yeah, but well, no, that's not nothing to do with what I'm saying. But yeah, I'm talking about the bit where talking about the fact that if she came across more like a field agent, then it would be more convincing at the end when she wanted to be a field agent. But no, the rest of it's 100% true. Yeah, it's very kind of meh, and we should specify before we continue that so Kingsman, same as the previous one, they're all named. All their code names are based on Knights of the Round Table. Statesmen are all of their names are based off of drinks. Not necessarily alcoholic drinks either, because ginger is ginger ale rather than an alcoholic beverage.
Then there's tequila.
Tequila is Channing Tatum. Yeah.
Champagne.
Yeah.
Known as Champs.
Yeah. So I feel like that was just an excuse for Jeff Bridges to be called Champ.
Yeah.
It's a very all-American name, isn't it?
Yeah.
Champ.
Whiskey.
That was great. Yeah, whiskey, tequila. I don't know. I think that's all we saw.
Those are the 4 that we saw.
Yeah. So if you haven't seen the trailer or seen the film, which what are you doing here? The premise of this one is the Kingsmen all get blown up at the beginning. Like Julianne Moore runs a massive cartel, and she lives in the middle of just nowhere. And she has a little. She's carved out like a little place, a little area, surrounded it in landmines, and which we'll come back to. So surrounded it in landmines, and then put like 1950s nostalgia stuff inside. American 50s nostalgia. That's true. Salons, diners. All that stuff.
Cinema.
All that fun stuff.
She's kidnapped Elton John.
She's kidnapped Elton John.
That was great.
She's just kidnapped Elton John and is forced to do her bidding.
Forces him to do concerts.
All the time.
Julianne Moore, she was great.
She was pretty good,
She was just that right level of psychopath to not get annoyed with her.
Yeah, no, I think that's fair.
Yeah, I enjoyed her. Enjoyed that whole like... She wants to make drugs legal. I did chuckle at the sugar reference with old... What was his name?
Oh, it was...
Craig?
The agent.
Begins with C. Charlie.
Yeah.
Where Charlie's like, pass me the sugar. And she's like, do you really want to eat sugar? It's
5 times
6
more
times
addictive
more
or whatever.
addictive than cocaine. And it causes more deaths than alcohol. And I was like, yes! Me and Brian are on a sugar-free diet at the moment. So, refined sugar. So, that made me feel all happy and warm inside.
Yeah, it was a bit of a chuckle, didn't it?
And yeah, she is blackmailing the president to make her drugs legal, and then she's poisoned her drugs so that the president will make them legal. But actually, the president is a bad man and is just going to let all the people die.
Yeah.
So the Kingsman and the Statesman.
So why is it? What's his reasoning for letting all the people die?
Because they're druggies anyway, and they're criminals anyway.
That's what he reckons. Yeah.
Might as well let them die. So the Kingsman and the Statesman have to go and get the antidotes themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, yeah. So that they have the doomsday scenario thing where, which I quite like, where they were like, oh shit, Kingsman is completely destroyed. What do we do? And their doomsday scenario is to go to this. Holy crap! I don't remember what it was.
Wine merchant.
It was a wine merchant. That's right. And they were like, "Oh, we'll use tasting room 3," and then they go in, and behind a seal, they use a little Kingsman pin from a reference from the first one, to on a little thing to open up a thing for this safe.
It's a safe in the wall, isn't it?
Yeah, and all that's inside is some Statesman whiskey. And they were like, well, they've got a good sense of humour, our predecessors.
Can't believe they killed the dog. Just remembered that.
Yeah. So when they blew up everything, they nuked JB.
That was awful.
Was it JB or JD?
JB.
Yeah, it was JB.
James Bond.
Oh, yeah.
That's what he's named after.
Yeah.
Like that was like kind of.
Yeah, it was fun because they got there and they had no idea what they were doing, and then they got drunk on whiskey, and then they did and then Merlin, Mark Strong's character Merlin from the previous film, was just like crying. I really like that scene.
Yeah.
And then they realised at the end that behind on the back of the label, like I wouldn't be convinced by this, but on the back of the label it said from Kentucky. This is where the whiskey is from, and the K was the shape of the Kingsman logo, and they were like, oh, that must mean we have to go to Kentucky.
Looks like we're going to Kentucky.
Yeah.
And then.
Which was great.
Chaos ensues.
Yeah. They. What did you think of? What do you think of Colin Firth coming back? So this is the other thing that was basically spoiled by the trailers. Again, one of my favorite bits, because one of my favorite bits of the trailer was when they turn on the thing and you can see the two-way glass through the two-way glass, and they see that it's him, and Eggsy just goes, "Fuck me." So good.
I liked the fact that he was back, because I think
his character was amazing.
His character was great, and I also think that Eggsy kind of needs him. Like,
sure.
He's still not quite mature and grown up enough to be going it himself, as was established with the when everybody dies and he gets really emotional about
Yeah.
It kind of balances. They balance each other out.
Yeah.
Colin Firth is that kind of maternal kind of influence on him.
Yeah.
And Eggsy is the kind of rash and makes him loosen up a little bit.
Yeah.
But the kind of way they ham-fisted it in.
Yeah.
That how the Statesman found him and got him there was a bit couldn't you have come up with something slightly more imaginative?
What this sort of the problem? Yeah, not only that, but he also they. So they how do they do it?
So when Valentine shoots him in the face, the Kingsmen have the Statesmen have been getting this transmission, so they fly, because it's in America, isn't it?
Yeah.
So they fly over and they find Harry lying on the ground with his eye blown out, and they have this technology that they wrap around his face, and it means that it protects the brain, so that then they can put nanobots in his head and fix the damage, but they can't fix his eye.
Yeah. Well.
There's.
I guess maybe that was the first bit to go, and they got there too late or whatever. But I just. Yeah, I mean that's okay, but then also to tie in, they have a protocol for this because they almost always get amnesia from a headshot.
Yeah.
And so they even have a protocol for dealing with the amnesia. And the whole thing was just a bit
also,
well, I guess everybody's seen this film.
I can't work out how they worked out that he was an agent.
I guess because
he was
he'd been shot in the... Oh, no. They had his glasses tech, which they didn't know where he was from.
Okay, yeah. That makes sense.
But yeah, we should point out as well, the beginning of this film is straight away balls to the wall, kind of.
Yeah.
Just mental. The Charlie, who we've already briefly spoken about, he was a character from the first film. He was one of the rejected recruits from the school of spies. But he comes back at the beginning of this, just like straight away, bam, with like an army of like 3 4x4s with miniguns. It's just like...
And a metal arm.
So good. Oh yeah, he has a metal arm because he lost an arm in the previous... Oh man.
Yeah.
Just awesome. This is just so over the top and ridiculous, but great fun. Do you like it? Do you think it's too much? What do you think?
I like the craziness of it, but what they're trying to do is so crazy that obviously you can never do it with like some of the stunts and stuff. You know that you can't do it properly. Like so the first fight scene is with Charlie and Eggsy in a cab, and they're like fighting each other.
Well, coming out of the cab, going back inside the cab,
and then like falling off and falling onto a car door and being dragged along behind the back of a car and getting in the boot. Like, everybody knows that that's not done. That's done with CGI.
There's a lot of CGI in this.
A lot of CGI, and particularly with that scene, on above and beyond all the others, the CGI is really bad.
Yeah, well,
and like you can tell, and to me, it's like, you know, in the last Harry Potter,
Deathly Hallows Part 2.
Yeah, when they're like all flying around, and you keep seeing their faces all like changing into each other.
Oh, well, when Harry and Voldemort
are fighting, flying around.
Yeah, which is stupid. Just zap them with a wand.
Yeah, and like you know that's CGI, and you can tell that's CGI.
Yeah, 100%.
And like it's something in the faces that the faces are always like moving too quickly.
They're very porcelain as well. No imperfections.
Yeah,
there's a lot of...
and like you can kind of like there's a like kind of a wiggle that I and like because they don't want to have to draw the faces in so well, I think.
Yeah, and another good example is the Spider-Man films. Whenever, like the early Spider-Man films, particularly, whenever Tobey Maguire's running and jumping through buildings, and especially in the first film when he does the jump and the leap in, he looks like he's made of jelly.
Yeah.
The entire time. So yeah, it's the same thing.
And like that's what I noticed. You have that same like kind of fuzzy face, as it were.
Well, I think they kind of shoot themselves in the foot, sort of, with the CGI in this, because all the fight scenes are built to be close-up sweeping shots. So like they're just like, I mean, they're probably 95% CGI. I don't know, but like they're like Eggsy will punch someone, and then he'll follow through on the punch, so he'll lean forward, and then the camera will start on the other side of his fist and then follow up his arm, and then it'll go back round while the fight scene is going on, so then he's throwing a punch with the other fist, and the cameras are following them. I mean, I think the effect itself is kind of good, pretty good,
but like it was much better when you have the very end fight scene
with them and spoiler alert, Burt Reynolds Jr.
No.
Oh.
With Eggsy,
Eggsy, Charlie,
Harry, and they're getting into the compound.
Oh, okay. Right at the
like sort of So
as they come into Poppyland,
which
is that little
and
thing
like
that
when
covered in mine.
They're coming through and they're like destroying all the henchmen.
Yeah,
that was really, really good.
Yeah,
where they like drop the big donut thing down and like they use that as a shield. Cool. Like that was really good. I think because, as you said, it was more panned out.
There wasn't any. I don't think there was as much CG in that one. I will say. I think because I don't imagine they needed as much CG.
No.
I mean, they're mostly like a lot of the close quarters 1v1 stuff is quite dynamic and quite complicated. Whereas I think the stuff when they're using guns is not as complicated.
Not as complicated,
not at all. Although I still loved it. Like there's so many gadgets in this. We'll start with that because we're just gonna name drop gadgets as we go along. But this freaking the suitcase that turns into a shield.
Oh, that was cool. Good.
And also is a gun as well that you can then turn into a shield and take the gun out of the. That was cool. I love that.
That was cool.
The umbrella is from the first one, but that's clever. Like when they prop the umbrella up, if you're looking from inside the umbrella, it has like a see-through effect. So you can see through the umbrella, which makes it really cool fighting as well because you can like whack people.
Yeah.
And it's also bulletproof, I think, so you can shoot people with the umbrella because it's also a gun.
Yeah.
I don't know. I love that shit, man. Seriously.
Yeah.
The cab even had loads. Back at the beginning of the film, the cab that he was driving around in, that had loads of gadgets as well.
And he had a knife in his shoe.
Yeah,
James
knife in the
Bond
shoe.
style.
Classic. Yeah. I did like from this that he was still mates with all his mates. Like I don't know why, but I was worried that he was gonna just abandon all of the previous people.
Yeah.
And like it's nice to have like him as with all his chavvy mates because I mean we all have our mates and he like it's good to be a character that could be multi-dimensional and not just be like, oh, I'm a spy so I can't be this.
Yeah.
It's fine, you know. You just be both. Who cares? Just have friends.
Yeah.
But no, awesome, absolutely awesome stuff. I wasn't really convinced by because we sort of already touched on Kid Burt Reynolds again, Pedro Pascal, whiskey. I wasn't really convinced by his motives, really.
I'd already worked that out, like from the point where, when had I worked it out that he was a double agent? He said something to Ginger before they left, and I was like, oh yeah, he's gonna be playing the, and then like Colin Firth
just knew straight away.
Yeah. And I sort of feel like his butterflies were helping him.
So, do you want to talk about the butterflies?
So, because of what he had with his brain, Harry had amnesia
for a year,
and he had regressed back to a time before he'd started in the Kingsman, where he was an lepidopterist, so a butterfly man.
Yeah.
So he had butterflies all over his wall, and then they shocked his brain back into Kingsman mode by Eggsy coming in, bringing him a dog that looked like Mr. Pickle, and then threatening to shoot it, and that rebooted his brain.
So he remembered his Kingsman's training when he had to shoot his dog with a blank.
Which, talking of good CGI, the de-aged Colin Firth.
Yeah.
I know he didn't do any talking, he was just looking, but that was a really good.
That was pretty good, yeah.
De-aged.
So when he gets traumatized back to good health and he remembers all his stuff from that he'd forgotten because of his amnesia, they flash back to when he had to do the training.
And he actually did shoot his dog, but it was a blank. Yeah. It was a blank.
Yeah.
So he gets shocked back into like Kingsman mode, and he's lost like a year, but part of the side effects are that he has like flashes
where he's not sure,
and like
he is or whatever,
he just sees butterflies like flying around, and I kind of feel like his butterflies were helping him, because like you see them a couple of times and they're like flying, so like the butterflies were like flying around the controls the first time you see them, and then the butterflies are flying around whiskey, and I was like, I wonder if they're like actually kind of like
they're his instincts.
Well, yes. That's kind of what I was like thinking.
Definitely. I mean, even in the control room, admittedly, he wasn't happy that they were there, but
no, but like maybe because he wasn't really sure.
Yeah, but yeah.
I just sort of feel like he was, because the second time the butterfly, and he like kind of uses them, I think.
Yeah.
But
because so they're all like fighting bad guys. Galahad, and Whiskey. Harry, Eggsy, and Whiskey, and they end up in a cabin, and then Whiskey sort of semi-reveals his hand by accidentally, in air quotes.
Well, it was just like, give it to me.
Oh, right.
Oh.
Yeah, straight away in that
Straight
scene, he was
away,
like, let me have a look at the antidote.
Yeah.
So just this little antidote vial, they only have one. And he's like, give me the antidote. And straight away I was like, not sure on that.
Yeah.
But then more bad guys appear. He uses the commotion to like knock Eggsy's hand.
Yeah.
And then Colin Firth knows.
Yeah.
Well, Harry knows.
It wasn't hard, was it? Like, I think everybody worked that out by then.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't sure, if I'm honest. I guess it would have been interesting if he was just insane. Because
yeah.
I mean,
I think that would have been far more like... Because also I did wonder, when they went to Poppyland,
yeah,
I thought they were going to do a double bluff. And it was actually going to be Harry. And she'd somehow managed to, like, implant something into his brain while he was unconscious, like, or amnesiac or whatever, and that he was going to be like a sleeper agent.
Well, I mean, if Whiskey was actually working for her, which is what I initially thought, but he wasn't, but if he would have working for Poppy, then they could have tied that in. He could have done something to...
Yeah. Oh, yes, because he wasn't actually working for her.
No.
He just had his own agenda. I remember.
There are a whole bunch of people who don't like druggies in this film.
Yeah. It's very... drugs are bad. We should kill everybody that takes drugs, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, the message was obviously the opposite of that. But the weird... There's a lot of misplaced anger targeted about drugs in this.
Yeah.
While we're talking about that, let's talk about the president. I think this is the first US president in a film like this where it's not deliberately parodying the president, where he's been an idiot and where he's been a bit of a dick. I mean, okay.
Are they not just parodying the president though?
But this
because he is a bit of a dick.
Yeah, I guess they kind of are.
Apologies to any of our American listeners.
Yeah, well, if you vote for Trump, all this is on you. Politics aside, I'm just kidding anyway.
But I've never seen when Americans are involved, where the American president is like an absolute douchebag.
Just not a nice person.
He was horrible.
Yeah, completely.
Like, sometimes the presidents are a bit misguided, but they're never, like, complete a-holes.
Yeah, true. Completely. Like, it's... I feel like... Yeah, it's just an interesting change, which I think reflects a lot of people's...
Feelings
on the El Presidente.
Yeah.
Which I thought was interesting. And also, the news channel that everyone was tuning into was Fox, which is another interesting thing because...
Oh yeah, Fox and...
They weren't parodying Fox though. Fox was just being honest about what was happening all the time, right?
Do you think there was a bit of a message there?
I don't know, yeah. Maybe
they were making a bit of a political stand, like fake news is... Like, how fake news is fake news, and is it?
Well, I don't know. I'm not sure, because, like, if Fox News are always telling the truth, like, in the film...
Yeah.
I don't know. But that's weird. Anyway, no, it's interesting. That was all. The president was a massive dick, yeah, completely. Mm. But yeah, very much like, oh my god, I'm going to solve the war on drugs by just letting everyone who takes drugs die.
Yeah.
Which is just...
It's not a... stand I don't think any president would ever take, is it? Like,
well, no, not really.
But
well, maybe one of them.
It was an interesting scenario.
Yeah, and also one of his advisors was also called Fox. I know, it was very weird. I don't really know what the message was there.
No.
Yeah. But that was the main thing. So Poppy, Julianne Moore's evil villain, which we've already spoken about loads. But she, her evil plan basically was, some people who take my drugs will get sick and then they'll go crazy and then they'll die. I have the antidote. If you legalize drugs, I will release the antidote. Mm-hmm. They all had the weird blue veiny thing going on.
Yeah.
What did you think about Poppy's introduction to the film, where you meet Angel and his friend?
Oh yeah, she was the right level of psychopath. Like she just comes in. This is how much of a psychopath I'm gonna be. Deal with it. Love you, bye.
Yeah.
Like she was just that right level of crazy.
Yeah.
That you needed in what is already a bit of a mental film anyway. So you need those big, like Valentine. He was nuts as well. But I think in a film like this,
he absolutely was obsessed with McDonald's, which I love.
You're gonna have like crazy villains.
Yeah. It's crazy villains who want you to stuff their friend into a mincer.
Yeah. And he did.
Yeah, because he was mental as well.
Yeah.
Can't
believe she nearly killed Elton John though.
Oh my god!
That would I think have caused national uproar.
I think
if she had have actually killed Elton John,
I think it would have done. Did you think that Elton John had the best time?
Oh, I bet he did. I bet he loved life. Just getting to wear his old costumes,
flamingo-y, multicoloured
playing
things.
some songs,
amazing,
and then getting to like punch some people and swear. Like
every other word he said was fuck. Every other word
would have literally been having a ball.
Oh, so good.
I'm really sad though that we didn't get to hear Crocodile Rock because that is just like my favourite Elton John song ever, and I was like, please do Crocodile Rock, please do. So that was the only thing that I was a little bit upset about was that we didn't get to hear Crocodile Rock. Crocodile Rock in the sun, when the futures can't keep still. Yeah.
We should point out as well that there's a lot of reliance on nostalgia in this film again.
Yeah. I like that though.
I think it's alright, but my point from the last podcast still stands. I think maybe we shouldn't.
It's what works, isn't it? Like, people watch what is selling and what is making money. Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
Making a load of money.
So let's put Thor in 80s space as well.
Yeah.
No, don't just put Thor in space. Put him in 80s space.
Yeah.
Technicolor, who cares? I don't know.
It's what sells. And
yeah, alright. It's the zeitgeist right now.
Yeah. Stranger Things. Everybody's loving Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Because it did really well as well. It's what, people are going to use what everyone is enjoying.
Yeah, I guess. I'm just, I don't know, I don't know what I want. I enjoyed that. I enjoy the nostalgia. Every time though, afterwards I'm like, I was tricked by nostalgia again.
I think you will enjoy it, but then you will be like, can't they just do something new? But until
they will just ride this train home.
Yeah, until people don't want to see it, they're not going to stop doing it.
Yeah.
And true. They want bums on seats, and they want money in their pocket, and
yeah, my bum was on that seat.
That's gonna make it. Can we now talk about Merlin?
Yeah. Well, yeah, because we I guess we've already basically talked about it. But when we like Merlin, do we like? Well, he wasn't near this much.
Merlin is great.
He was obviously a very important character in the first one, and in the second one,
he was important.
Pretty important, but he was in less of it. I feel he was still He was
there as he always is, like in the background.
And then he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna go."
No, wait.
Okay.
He goes, and he's like, he's normally in the background, not getting involved, and they're like, "Come along, come on a mission. So he gets himself all suited and booted. You know, he's in a beautiful suit.
Beautiful Kingsman suit.
He's had a shave.
Yeah, looking good.
You know,
his arms look a bit too long for his body, but that's fine.
And then what happens? First mission, and no, it's even worse than that. Eggsy, silly little
shit
that he is, stands on a landmine. So they're all like,
"Don't move."
Oh, Eggsy, don't move. Okay, I'm not going to do it anymore.
Mark Strong doesn't have a great Scottish accent either. It's fine.
Isn't he Scottish?
No, I don't think so.
No, I think he might be Scottish.
Carry on talking while I don't Google this.
Merlin is like, we've only got a split second.
He's a London man from Islington.
So he uses this spray, this cold spray.
Sorry, he's a London man from Islington.
Okay, fine.
Carry on.
So it's not a real accent, fine. So he uses his cold spray, and he's like, Eggsy, you're only going to have a split second
to get off the landmine.
To get off the landmine. Go! And then what happens?
He puts his foot on
the landmine. And then Harry's like, well, I'll go it. I'm the chief. And Mark Strong's like, Merlin is, well, you can't because we've run out of spray stuff
that freezes it for a second so you can get off.
So everybody, you know, we all know what's going to happen. Mark Strong's going to have to, you know, sacrifice himself.
Merlin, I don't remember what his actual name is.
Merlin.
No, he's in his...
I don't think you ever know his actual name.
You know some of their names.
Yeah, but I don't think you ever know his name.
No, maybe not.
And, you know, they do a salute and Eggsy's
he sings Country Road.
Eggsy's got tears in his eyes, so he starts making a load of noise and
distracts all the guards,
blows all the... But then he dies!
He blows all the guards up, yeah.
And, go on, you made a very good point yesterday.
Alright, so they bring a baseball bat that is a mine detector, a minesweeper. And they're like... We're in this crazy world where they've got all these gadgets, but they don't bring anything with them that can disable a mine.
Or just bring something that is able to, like, mimic a body.
Put something heavy on it.
Yeah.
Put a rock on it.
No, but
there are a million ways you can get out of the situation,
basically. Get some sort of, like, device that will... You know, makes it feel like it's heavy.
They can fix you when you get shot in the head. They can't stop a device that people have in other films, like war films, have like disabled just with like some toothpick. I don't know what example I'm using here, but in like I've seen other films where they disable mines, and it's not the weird
Hurt Locker. They like disable mines, don't they?
Well, they do. Don't they use the
robot
thing?
Exactly.
Have a mini version of those. Carry it with you all the time.
Like,
maybe it's a wallet that transforms into a miniature robot that can disable mines. That would totally work in this universe. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but they could have easily, I think, saved him or something.
Ridiculous.
But. Do you reckon that's it then?
What do you mean?
For Kingsman?
Films?
Yeah.
No.
There are more.
Matthew Vaughn has said that he would quite happily make a third, and also he wants to make a spin-off as well.
But who's going to be in it?
He wants to make the Statesman spin-off. But I guess they would redo. They would have to recreate Kingsman again from the few people that are left.
Well, like Eggsy and Doodad
Eggsy and Harry just do it. So
Harry's like Arthur.
Arthur, yeah, I guess.
And Eggsy would be
Galahad still.
Galahad.
People joke. I quite enjoyed they kept making jokes about having two Galahads. That was great.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but yeah, that is confusing as hell.
Yeah.
Also, I really liked they were alcoholics. I loved that the Americans just drank. Because that's a weird...
But they didn't though, because he kept spitting it out.
Yeah, that's true. Jeff Bridges did spit it out. But I think they did drink other points and didn't spit out. I feel like. But,
well, I think that was Channing Tatum. Oh, yeah. And can we talk about the stupid device that they had?
Okay. Well, I just want to carry on.
Go on, keep going.
About the alcohol thing. I just thought it was interesting that they were all very into their drink. But Americans really are really anti-alcohol.
Oh.
Like, if you have they make jokes about it in British comedy all the time. If you have a glass of wine with dinner in the US, someone who turns around and is like, "Oh, hello, got a bit of a problem there." If you don't have 3 shots of tequila and some aftershock before your starter, then you're going slow in the UK.
Yeah.
Like that, and I just thought it was interesting that they were all just based on whiskey.
Well, their belt buckles were like whiskey
little
bottles,
flasks, which was great. Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Talking of bloody ridiculous
chauvinism. Devices, gadgets. Oh yeah.
What was that stupid tracking device in a condom?
Okay, you want to explain it?
No, I don't want to explain it.
So
they put a tracking device in a condom that had to.
It's a finger condom.
Oh no, I don't think.
No, it was a finger condom. Yeah, he specified that it was for your finger. Yeah.
Why? Okay.
There's a lot of things.
So the one is that it's a condom. 2, that it's a finger condom. Where have you ever seen a finger condom?
Yeah.
3, the tracker had to be implanted
in a mucus gland.
A mucus membrane. So, nose.
Or downstairs mix up.
Come on, Greg!
Which,
they have also gone bum.
I don't. Yeah, but once you're in that general area, it's quite intimate anyway.
Yeah.
Like,
I think what he should have done is put the finger condom on and just gone wet willy.
That's genius.
That would have been great.
I don't know if your ears have a mucus gland, but that would have been membrane. But
I think
that would count, right?
I think.
But I don't know how your ears work.
No. Or you could have just like rubbed it in the eye or something.
Poke in the eye.
But
if you don't know, you can't see this, but me and Laura just went and moved our hand into our eye and like weird poke.
But then, what makes it even worse? Not to like ruin the mood of the podcast, but not only does he put his...
He's tracking a lady, he has to...
He puts his finger condom on and, takes one for the team. But the filmmaker decided in his infinite wisdom that we had to follow the bloody tracker.
It was so weird.
Foo-foo.
They did the same sort of CGI tracking shot as when they're fighting, and he puts his hand on her and then moves it
down her pants.
Down her pants. What the hell was that?
Oh, it was so...
Oh, you can see what's inside.
It was so
lovely.
Cringy.
Just what I wanted to see.
I'm surprised you didn't see like buddy muffin.
There was not. There was yeah.
It was just so grotesque and like
we like to be safe for work mostly, but there's a lot of stuff in here that's not. But this was definitely not PG-13. Like you couldn't take your mum to see that, could you? No. Oh man, that was weird. And here's a fun fact: Taron Egerton didn't want any part of that scene at all.
Did he not?
No, he really didn't like it.
Well, he just had to ring his girlfriend and be like, "Hey,
that was weird.
Can I have sex with this girl for a mission? Oh, but I'll marry. Oh, if you're saying that you'll marry me, then yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
Like how little self-esteem does that woman have?
Oh no, but she didn't say that though. She said like, she sort of understood the mission maybe and was trying to see it from his point of view, but also...
If you're proposing to me, then it would be
slightly different.
Completely different.
I mean, I guess she was speaking from a very sort of...
I just didn't like...
diplomatic point of view, but
I just didn't like that bit at all, and I'm glad Taron Egerton didn't like it either, because I quite like him, particularly from Sing, when he's a singing gorilla.
That was pretty good.
Love it.
He sings very lovely.
Oh, he's so lovely.
He does a bit of Elton John in that as well. Are they friends?
I'm still standing better than... Oh, I love Elton John. Oh, I wish there was more Elton John.
His character is genius in this, because he's literally Elton John, but also... because there are these robot dogs that Poppy has, who she just whistles, and they like kill people, but he's programmed in as a friend, so they can't attack him. So there's a bit where they're in a bowling alley, and they are like sitting in the bowling alley because Colin Firth's Harry is running around in the bowling alley, being chased by a dog, and then Elton John just appears out of nowhere and stands in front of him. He's like, "Don't worry, lad, I'll save you. They can't hurt me." And so you get this ridiculous scene where Elton John is sitting down, and Colin Firth is appearing behind him periodically with a bowling ball, smashing the robot dog in the face.
And then they just get two bowling balls and just crush its skull. Not that it's a skull, because it's a
robot, but
robot dog.
I guess because it's designed to have a sort of skeletal support structure like a person.
But killing those, that was really cool. One
that was fun.
Got killed by gold.
And
one got punched in the face with a bowling ball.
Oh yeah, I also really enjoyed that only one of them came out initially because
the other one was charging.
It's like on the little kennel, he was in there like 89%.
That was so good.
I enjoyed that. That was so good. Overall, what do you reckon?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was silly, but just the right amount of silly.
I thought it was great. Do you think it was as good as the first one? The same as the first one?
I don't think it, like I said at the beginning, I don't think it was as good as the first one, because they used a lot of the same, like, jokes and kind of same formula, so it wasn't as wow as the first one.
New and exciting and fresh.
Yeah.
No, that's fair. And I gotta admit, I understand why they nuked Kingsman, because they needed to up the stakes from the previous one.
Yeah.
Which is quite difficult when it's already quite ridiculous and over the top. But like, I'm kind of sad as well, because I really like the idea of having a team that continues from film to film.
Yeah.
I don't know, rather than just like individual characters, which was fine as well, I guess. But I don't know, like I like having a little team.
Well, we kind of think, well, you kind of can see where they're going to take the next one from the end of this one, with Channing Tatum turning up in London in his little bowler hat.
Did you love his suit?
Like an absolute...
my god. It's a
worldie.
The hat was a bit small, but also
but bowler hats are supposed to be like that.
Sure.
So he was just fitting in.
The other problem was, of course, that anyone whose head and neck are the same thickness look a bit weird in a suit. And he's so big. It's just like, it just looked a bit funny. But oh man, I did enjoy what little of Channing Tatum we saw, and I liked the headlock fight scene at the beginning. That was fun.
I just enjoyed his dancing.
Yeah, so the drug thing, we're coming to the end now, but his fight scene, the drug, the virus that was killing people made you go crazy and dance for a bit before you died.
Yeah.
Just great. Yeah. No, I absolutely loved Thingy's lasso, his electrical lasso. I need me some more gadgets. I just love gadgets.
Yeah.
Like that, or gadgets that look like other things. Just so good. And I loved Merlin's little exit. They sort of briefly touched on Eggsy's dad again. I wonder if we'll get more of that at any point. But probably not now, I suppose. It's already been established.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, awesome. I would love to see more Kingsman films. Would you like to see a Statesman film?
Yeah.
don't know if they could survive on their own. I like the...
Well, they've been surviving on their own for like
No, I just
years.
mean I don't think the film could survive just with them. I feel like they balance each other out now.
Oh, okay. I thought
maybe they just have to be a combination.
I thought you meant statesmen.
No, yeah, well, they've still got a fully fledged business operation going, like spy or business thing going on.
Yeah, well, it's now a joint operation, isn't it? Statesman and Kingsman. So
yeah, because they have all the monies.
So I don't think they're ever going to be separate, but yeah, it was good.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Any other final thoughts?
No.
No?
Got no thoughts in my head anymore. I think I have told you everything I wished to relay.
Excellent. Yeah, well, I think that about wraps it up then for this one. We are going to run off and watch the next episode of Relic.
Yeah!
I think. As always, thanks for listening. If you listened to this last bit or whatever, you're a hero. We'd like to thank TenYearsGone for the opening music. You can find him on Twitter at I am TenYearsGone. You could tell you found him because his profile picture is a polarized picture of him looking at his computer with his
big bushy beard.
Yeah, that one. And he's also 10 Years Gone on everything else. So at I am 10 Years Gone on Twitter, 10 Years Gone on everything else. We are at CR Pod on Twitter. I am at BDogCarter.
At Speckle_15.
Follow us. Tell us what you thought about Kingsman. Tell us if there's any more comic book related movies that you want to happen. Anything from Mark Millar you think, because they've done Kick-Ass now, they've done whatever else. Just let us know if there's any other Mark Millar properties or anything that you'd like to see that they haven't done yet. Because I imagine we will see them. We'll see all the comic books made into films eventually. Yeah, I'm sure. You can
leave us a 5-star review, please.
Yes, please review us. We still can't see any of the reviews on iTunes yet because we haven't had enough. And I need to know if people are giving us 1 star. I need to know. Anyway, yeah. We are also on Patreon. If you fancy giving us a little bit more support, you can find us on patreon.com/TCRF Pod. Facebook, the same URL, facebook.com/TCRF Pod. And yeah, that about wraps it up.
Bye.
Love you, bye.